Jordan has a new Prime Minister and the people are celebrating. It was their movement against a new tax bill, against corruption and price rise, which saw the king bow to the public mood and appoint a new Prime Minister. WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani spent a night on the streets of Amman to capture a mass protest in one of the most stable Arab states.
Jordan has for long been acknowledged as among the most stable countries in the turbulent Arab world. But beginning in January, when the wheat subsidies ended and the price of bread doubled, the country has been on the boil. In June, people took to the streets to protest against corruption, the rising cost of living, and a draft income tax law which lowered the tax threshold. After days of protests, King Abdullah II appointed a new Prime Minister, Omar Al-Razaz, who was earlier handling education. Opinion about him is mixed. Many see him as another technocrat and with his IMF background, little different from the man he replaced.
I do not need the characters or the figures to be changed. I need the paths to change. I am here to ask the King of Jordan, because he is the one who decides in Jordan, to change the way the government deals with the economy and politics in Jordan.
Others say he is a man of the people, someone who started from the scratch and who lives in a common neighborhood.
The
laws that the government was imposing on the people of Jordan can have the same headline: pay, pay and pay. There are fees on everything. There are fees if you need to go to a court, if you need an official paper, if you need a passport or birth certificate. Wherever you go, you have to pay, but on return, we do not get services. If you give us services, then we would think about it. We would pay and get something in return. It is really difficult to get anything in Jordan without paying. One of our demands is to have services from the government like education or medical services. We now hope that the new government will have a deep look at the situation in Jordan and to learn from the mistakes of the previous government, which went down because of the people's will. The King of Jordan too knew that the government was not doing a good job.
But all agree that getting the Prime Minister replaced is a huge victory in a country which is nominally a democracy.
What happened was the achievement of the people, and here we are saying, long live the people of Jordan.
I'm really proud that I'm Jordanian. I'm really proud of what my people has done for the country and for the change. And we have won. And we wish the new government, we will give it the chance that it will help the youth and it will develop our country, and we will go forward to be better than the situation we had before.
We see is a crowd way smaller in numbers to the ones we have seen the last days. Nonetheless, their presence on the ground of their capital city to keep repeating that they will not accept new tax reforms, that they want this government to work for the people, to end what they perceive is decades of wrong economic policy which brought no benefit for the people of Jordan.
Al-Razaz has struck the right note, indicating his willingness to respect the sentiments on the streets.
مرينا في ضائقة وصعوبة في خلال الأسبوعين الماضيين. استلهمنا منهم دروس مهمة، يمكن أهمها أنه موضوع بأهمية قانون ضريبة الدخل يجب التأني فيه ويجب الحوار حوله والتواصل مع كافة الفئات المعنية. لذلك قرارنا الأول كان سحب هذا مشروع القانون هذا والخوض مباشرة في حوار معمق مع كل الفئات المتأثرة فيه.
Jordanians welcomed their new Prime Minister's decision. After iftar, hundreds gathered on the streets of Amman to chant and celebrate. Most were young students.
The majority of the people gathered in the protest is very young, justifying the fact that those who suffer the most the economic situation of Jordan are the young Jordanians who struggle to often find a good job with a good salary despite a very good level of education.
But Jordan's economic situation is grim. price hikes recommended by the IMF are taking a heavy toll on the people. Salaries are meager. Everything has gone up, including electricity. Many are working multiple jobs, slogging 14 hours a day just to cover expenses. Despite widespread anger and frustration, demonstrations remain peaceful. Even policemen on duty could take a break for prayers. The atmosphere was relaxed and no streets were blocked. The celebratory atmosphere was crowned with sweet distribution and fireworks. But people intend to keep a close eye on what the government actually does. And should the new Prime Minister disappoint them, they are determined to exercise their democratic right to protest.
The people, as of now, are satisfied. They are optimistic, talking in the cafes of Amman. Everyone has at least hope that the Prime Minister will be capable of stopping this income tax law, which would force many Jordanians to pay out of their pocket what they perceive is the result of at least 2 decades of wrong economic policy. Daniele Pagani from Amman, Jordan, for WION.